All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, out of Staten Island, my homeborough, Brooklyn. Back at another video, and this is going to be another entry to the greatest team ever series. This is going to be on the 1992 Dallas Cowboys, who are, without doubt, in my view, the best Dallas Cowboy team of all time, and probably the best team, the past 30 years. Probably, them, the 94 Niners, the 96 Packers, the 98 Broncos. Of course, you got the 2000 Ravens, the '02 Bucks, the '04 Patriots. You got a lot of teams that you could put in that category, but this team is probably the best. Just talent-wise, domination in the postseason and the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl throughout the regular season, this team is probably without doubt the best. Okay, I mean, think about this. They had a top 5 quarterback, arguably in Troy Aikman, the best running back in the league, that year at least, in Emmitt Smith. Of course, Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas played in that era as well. And in the late 90s, you had the emergence of Marshall Faulk and Terrell Davis. You had probably the second best receiver in the league at that time. You had Jerry 1 and Michael Irvin 2. Chris Carter, Sterling Sharp, Timmy Brown 3. Okay, and they had a top-notch defense, an underrated defense, because there's no Hall of Famers on it. Well, other than Charles Haley. In my view, the safety, Darren Woodson, who most of you probably know is an analyst on ESPN, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Just in my opinion. But let's get into this. The 92 Cowboys, the 92 Cowboys started in the late 80s. 88, they drafted Michael Irvin. They were 3-13. And Michael Irvin said they kept losing, and he would cry after every loss. And the veteran players would tell him, "It's okay, Rook. You get that check on Monday." And of course, Michael Irvin's coming from the U, where they were winning most of the time. Of course, 87, they won the national championship. So literally, just out of college, one year you're a national champion and the best team in college football. Next year, you're the worst team in the NFL. But because of that record, they got number 1 overall pick and drafted Troy Aikman. They hired Jimmy Johnson after firing legendary coach Tom Landry. The owner, Jerry Jones, took over. And, of course, they went 1-15. They were horrendous the next year. Of course, all know the NFL Films clip of Troy Aikman lining up under the guard. And the guard told him, wrong player. That's the center. And then that just encapsulated what the Cowboys had become in the 80s. The 70s, they were, Staubach, Tom Landry, Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson, Randy White, Bob Lilly, Harvey Martin, rest in his soul, Thomas Hollywood Henderson. They had all these great players, Bullet Bob Hayes. And the 80s, they fell off. And the 90s, they had a resurgence. But, then in 1990, they drafted great Emmitt Smith. Let's not forget the legendary Herschel Walker trade. Traded Herschel Walker for all these players and picks to the Vikings. And then because of that, they would get his replacement, Emmitt Smith, who would go on to become the NFL's all-time leading rusher in yards, touchdowns, and carries. Okay, 91, they won a playoff. They had an 11-5 record, won a playoff game over the Bears, and lost to the Lions. Of course, we all know the iconic Barry Sanders play where the Cowboys D tackle, disregard that, was looking for him, and Barry was right behind him to the end zone. 92, the Cowboys were 13-3. They dominated throughout the regular season. And in the postseason, they played the 49ers in the 92 NFC Championship game, a classic for the ages. Probably one of the best conference championship games ever played. In Candlestick Park, muddy, icky, sticky Candlestick Park was league MVP Steve Young. And Steve, of course, choked. He threw an interception to middle linebacker Ken Norton Jr. And they kind of iced the game. They beat them 30-20, go on to rout the Buffalo Bills 52-17 in the Super Bowl. But look at this. They were ranked second in points for, fifth in fewest points, fourth in yards allowed. Look, they were number 1 in fewest yards allowed. That defense, you get Charles Haley. They had Jim Jeffcoat. They had Russell Maryland, who's from the U, by the way, Miami. Of course, we all know Jimmy Johnson coached Miami. They had, like I said, safety Darren Woodson should be in the Hall of Fame. They had Larry Brown, who would go on to win the Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 30 3 years later. The Cowboys defense was loaded. It didn't have any like a DeMarcus Ware or a Von Miller or a Ray Lewis. You could kind of say they had that in Charles Haley, but you took Charles Haley's kind of underrated. He was the first player to win 5 Super Bowls. But you look at all their stats right here. Their defense was loaded. See, they dominated throughout the regular season. They lost to the Eagles in Philadelphia. They got dominated. They lost to the Rams in a close one. They lost to the Redskins in a close one. But like I said, other than that, you look at these other scores, they dominated throughout the regular season. See, in the playoffs, they destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles 34-13. Of course, this is the aftermath of Jerome Brown, the great Eagles defensive tackle who's also from the U, the Miami Hurricanes. After he'd passed away in a car accident. Of course, Reggie White, God bless his soul, The Eagles even was playing with high emotions. They tried to win one for Jerome, bring it home for Jerome was their motto, and well, they couldn't because they ran into an all-time great team. But like I said, man, they just demolished the Buffalo Bills. And let me say this about the Buffalo Bills in the 90s. The only loss they should look at with sour grapes was the one against the Giants. They were better than the Giants, in my view. Like the 92 Cowboys and the 91 Redskins, those are all-time great teams. Even the 91 Redskins, with the quarterback Mark Rippon, they were an all-time great team for that season. 92 Cowboys, they were a dynasty, so they shouldn't really feel ashamed about losing to these two. That Giants win, that probably hurts the most, but these other two shouldn't. But yeah, Jim Kelly got knocked out of the game. The backup Frank Reich had to come in. Frank Reich, as you all know, is the coach in Naptown, playing for the coach for the Colts. Now, but back then he was the backup quarterback. He came in. He threw a touchdown to Don Beebe, little white receiver, who's basically his era Julian Edelman. You see, that's Ken Norton, 51 second, Jim Kelly. Troy Aikman, of course, the Super Bowl was in Los Angeles because it was originally supposed to be in Phoenix, Arizona. But because the state of Arizona did recognize Martin Luther King Day as a national holiday, Paul Tagliabue, the NFL commissioner at that time, who recently got inducted into the Hall of Fame, he moved it to Los Angeles. Of course, we all know Troy went to UCLA. He was a UCLA alumni. So this was like home for him, and he threw 3 touchdowns. It was the league, and it was the Super Bowl MVP. Emmitt Smith had a great game as well. Rushed for 2 touchdowns. Michael Irvin caught 2 touchdowns. Either one of them could have got the MVP. Of course, they were all known as the triplets. They're the original triplets. Aikman, Irvin, and Emmitt Smith. And then, they try to recreate that with Tony Romo, DeMarco Murray, and Dez Bryant in 2014. And Dez and DeMarco were exceptional in 2014. Tony got MVP considerations. And now they got Dak, Zeke, and Amari Cooper. But this will always be the best triplets because all these guys were top 5 in their positions during that era. Emmitt being probably arguably the best of his era. Troy was never considered the best because, you had Steve Young, you had John Elway, older Dan Marino, you had Brett Favre, Now, Irvin, like I said, Jerry, and then some years Chris Carter was better. Some years, Tim Brown was better. Some years, Andre Reed, the Bills receiver, was better, all these guys, but and then of course, here's the Leon Lett play. The Dallas Cowboys scored 52 points. That's one of the worst ass whoopings ever in Super Bowl history. I already did a video saying the Seahawks, what they did to the Broncos was the worst, in my opinion. Then I touched on the 49ers and the greatest team ever for the 89 Niners. But this is right up there, 52-17, and it was going to be 59 points. The Cowboys were going to break the record, which the Niners had set in 89 with 55 points. He scored this touchdown would have been 59, but he messed up. And excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I'm messing up. But still sorry I'm messing up. But anyway, yeah, but Leon Lett, he stuck the ball out, and Don Beebe knocked it out of his hands. But hey, they still won the game. And they went on to repeat in the next year, 93, and Jimmy Johnson was subsequently fired after that. Let go, or whatever you want to say. But what do y'all think, all you Cowboys fans out there? Are the 92 Cowboys the greatest team ever? Are they? Okay, when they ever return to glory? Because, yesterday marked the 25th anniversary of their last Super Bowl when they beat the Steelers. So will they ever return to glory? Are they the greatest? Is it the best Cowboys team ever? Is it the best team ever? Comment down below. What do you think? Subscribe. Help a young brother go on YouTube and like the video. All right? See y'all.